welcome back to Coach Wilson's online tutorial math stuff. And we just got done with combining like terms and distributed properties. So now we are starting the actual real algebra, and we're going to jump into solving one-step equations. And this section is adding and subtracting only. You can also think of it as also known as balancing equations. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by balancing equations. Alright, you've been doing equations for a while now. Okay, so for instance, 3 plus 4. Pretty simple. You were doing that in kindergarten. 3 plus 4 equals 7. Okay, no big deal. Okay, that is solving the equation. It's a very simple equation. There weren't any variables. You knew all the terms that you had to solve the equation. Okay, what you can think of it as is, say you have a balance, like a scale, okay, and the equal sign is the middle of this scale. And I've got one of these in my room, and I'll be using it from time to time. Okay, so you want to keep it balanced. If you have a 3 and a 4 over here, what's the only thing that you can put on this side to make it balanced? Well, that'd be a 7. So for instance, if I said 6, that wouldn't be balanced, and the scale would tip this way. Okay, and if I said, oh, I think 3 and 4 is 10, well, that's also not right, and the balance would tip this way. It'd be too heavy on this side. So balancing equations or solving equations means getting the same thing on the left side and the right side of the equals. The equal is your center point. Okay, so the only answer that will work in the entire world for this one, 3 plus 4, is a 7. So now we have a nice, even, balanced equation. Same on both sides. Okay, now that's a good visual to think of. Now we need to start looking at how do we actually solve them. How do we work them out in algebra? Okay, so here's the first one that we got. We've got 3 plus y equals 7. Now the y, the variable, it doesn't matter which one it is. You just have to figure out what this has got to equal 7. Okay, now here's what you want to do. Okay, you want to go, oh, duh, y equals a 4. Because if I put a 4 right there, it'd be just like this. 3 plus 4 is 7. But if you show this to any math teacher, they're going to say, sorry kid, that's not a variable. You got it wrong. Here's your grade. You get a 0. Okay, big donut. The reason is you have to show your steps. Okay, so for those of you who didn't get that, it was you have got to show your steps or you'll get eaten by the didn't show your steps monster. Okay, you have to show your steps. This is not showing your steps. Okay, this is just I can do this in my head. Alright, so we are not going to be allowed to do that. So let's look at how to correctly show steps. Okay, so for the first one, we've got k minus 7 equals 1. Alright, now you don't need to tell me you know what it is. Alright, I know it's 8. Okay, nobody cares. That's not what we care about in algebra. We want to know the steps. Remember, kindergarten through 6, we want you to tell us the answer. What's 2 plus 2? What's 5 times 7? Okay, now we know that you understand how to find the answers. We want you to show us how do you get the answers if there is something missing. Okay, so you want to put this. You want to put, oh, so k equals 8. Okay, but you can't do that because you have to show your steps. Okay, so for those of you who couldn't hear it, you have to show your steps. Okay, here's how you show your steps. You have to do the opposite. Okay, and you have to do it to both sides. Okay, you have to do the opposite and do it to both sides. That's how you balance an equation. Alright, so I want to figure out what k is equal to. We are going to line up our equals. Alright, there's a very simple way to do that. Okay, we're just going to draw a line straight down. That way we have a left side and a right side. Alright, now if I want to find out what k is, I want k to be by itself. Okay? The only thing on this side that I got to get rid of is a 7. So how do I make a 7 go away? Well, here I've got minus 7. So I want to do the opposite. So what's the opposite of minus 7? Plus 7. Okay? Now, if this was a balance, it'd be tipping this way because I'd be heavy because I got plus 7 over here. So the only way to balance it back out is to do it to both sides. So now it's plus 7 on both sides. Okay? So this can cancel out. So negative 7 plus 7 or minus 7 and plus 7 goes away. What am I left with? K. That's what I want. And then since this is going to be what we're going to solve for, you can draw like an equals line, kind of separate it out. So this is our step. This is a one step. It takes one step to get rid of stuff. So what is 1 plus 7? 8. So it's the same answer you knew in your head, but in algebra you have to show the answer. That's not a negative, by the way, it's just messy. Okay? So this is the step that you have to show. Okay? That's how you have to show it. Alright? So let's try another one. Okay? We got c plus 4 equals 2. Alright? Now, you want to do this. What plus a 4 can go down to a 2? Well, that's got to be a negative number. So maybe if it was a negative 6, let's see, that'd be a 4. So, oh, that'd be a 2, a negative 2. Oh, so c would equal a negative 2. Oh, I'm so smart. Well, that is the right answer, but since you neglected to put anything up here, that's not going to be right. That's going to be incorrect because you forgot to
show your steps.
Right, and you're going to get eaten by the show your steps monster. So that's not how you do it. So we're going to draw our line, and then we still want to find out what c is. Okay, so how do we get rid of that? Well, we got to get rid of this 4. Okay, so what's the opposite of plus 4? Okay, so the opposite is minus 4. But whatever we do to one side, we got to do to both sides, because now we're taking 4 away over here. Whoa, it's going to be unbalanced because we're getting smaller over here. So we have to take 4 away on both sides. Oh, that's better. Now it's balanced again. Okay, keep it nice and balanced. So here's our balance. So plus 4 minus 4, opposites cancel out. What's the only thing left? C, which is what we want. Okay, then you solve this. 2 take away 4, negative 2. And as always, if you want to do add the opposite, if you need to, that is absolutely fine. This is good. Okay, so this is the one step. Okay, one step equation. Eventually you'll get to 2 and 3 and 4. Alright, let's do 2 more. Alright, so for this one, we've got 8 plus w equals negative 13. We still want to get rid of everything except the w. Okay, so we got to get rid of that 8. Now, just because it's the beginning doesn't make a difference. Okay, how do you get rid of the 8? Well, you wouldn't want to do plus 8. Okay, because 8 plus 8 is 16. We want it to go away. Okay, so we do minus 8. 8 take away 8, that would go away. But, oh, it's getting unbalanced. So we have to do to both sides. So remember, do the opposite and do it to both sides. Okay, so we did the opposite and we did it to both sides. You're not going to get rid of the 13. You want to get rid of whatever's on the variable side. Whatever's on this side with the variable, that's what you want to get rid of. Okay, so that's gone. This is the only thing left. Okay, so negative 13 minus 8. So you can do add the opposite. So this is same signs, add and keep. So that's negative 21. Okay, so this is the right answer. Alright, last one. Negative 3 plus x equals 5. Okay, so we draw our line. We know we're going to get x. You can draw it down here to start with. I prefer that you don't, just in case there's a step you miss somewhere. You'll have to erase it and give yourself more room. but we know we want to get rid of the negative 3 because we want to get the x by itself. Okay? So how do you get rid of a negative 3? Well, it wouldn't be minus 3, because 3 minus 3 would be negative 6. We want it to go away. We want it to be 0. Okay? So, to get rid of a negative 3, the opposite would be to add 3. But we can't do that. Okay? So, remember, even if you can do it in your head, okay, that would be the answer, but we can't do that because we have to,
Show your steps. Roar.
or you'll get attacked. So, we have to add 3, which is do the opposite, and we have to do it on both sides so it balances. Do it to both sides. Okay? So, negative 3 and positive 3, opposites cancel out. Draw your equals line. X comes down, and it's positive x, which is just x. Okay, you can't have negative x, so positive x is fine. 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, so remember, you have to do the opposite of whatever the number is you want to get rid of, and it's always the number on the variable side. Not the left or the right, the one on the variable side. Okay, sometimes it might be over here. And then you want to do it to both sides. Just remember, you always want to make sure and show your steps, because you don't want to get attacked by this guy.
Roar.
Happy mathing.